What's up guys, Ian Sandusky from Let's Machine back here again for Practical Machinist. Today on Shop Talk, we're going to be talking about networking and how it can help you as a machining business. But before we do, make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so as I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about networking. Networking is something that can really help and at a certain stage make or break your business. And what networking is in its simplest form is about going out and meeting people, and not only meeting people but building connections. Networking is not throwing your face in front of a million people through advertisements. That's just advertising. Networking is about going out and actually making those connections and having those conversations to really build your network. That's why it's called networking. I can't tell you guys how many times this happens out there that you can have a life-changing experience for your business in terms of a big job or getting tapped to do something incredible, things that can really build your business simply because people know you exist. That personal connection. In this business and in a lot of business guys, it's not only that you can do good work, but it really is about who you know. And that's not a nepotism thing, that's not a dig, but being out there and knowing people and having a network of people you can tap for help and having people who can tap you for help is essentially what's going to separate your business from a successful one, what's going to make your business successful versus a company that does okay and survives week to week. Networking has a bit of a dirty reputation because I think we all know the MLM people or the people out there who it seems like their only reason to exist or speak to anybody is to build their network. And this is something to avoid, guys. Networking, in my opinion, really is about going out and trying to meet people without expectations. You should have an expectation of, I am meeting you for a business purpose. We are both, obviously here to speak about business, and we can talk about personal things as well. But going out and just trying to hard sell everybody or, build your network in a bit of a sleazy way isn't gonna help you. The biggest thing when it comes to networking for me that has been helpful, it's about going out with no pressure and just trying to meet people and say, hey, listen, this is who I am, this is what I do, what do you do? And finding out more about what they do and finding out more about what their company's challenges are, and then just kind of letting it sit. Going out and trying to solve everybody's problems and throw business cards around, it's about as useful as taking that stack of business cards and just throwing it into the wind. So one of the first effective ways to network, in my opinion, is through people you already know. I know one of the first things people will think is, man, I don't know if I want to go to social mixers for business people. I don't know if I want to do X, Y, and Z. Maybe I'm a little bit, socially anxious, or I don't know what to talk to people about when I'm trying to do networking. But the first way you can meet people is through referral. And some of you guys may do this all the time, not even really realize that this is a very good thing and something you're doing positive. But a perfect example is I had an issue come up at my business. I honestly can't remember really what it was, but I went out and I asked my favorite tooling supplier, hey, this is the issue I'm having right now. I really need to find somebody to do X, Y, and Z. And he said, do you know what? I've got the perfect person for you. I've got the perfect company. And he referred me to another business. I didn't know this business existed, and they were down the road from me. For some reason, they didn't pop up in my Google searches. For some reason, I had never noticed their sign because they're kind of tucked in a back industrial area. But they weren't that far away from me, and they ended up solving, I still don't remember what that exact job was because it's been a while, but just by that referral and that one little job they did for me, they've turned into one of my biggest suppliers when I need certain things done that I can't do in-house. And since then, because we've made that connection, they now send work to me, or they turn around and say, hey, you know what, if they're out in the field and they say, hey, do you know what, you need this done? Lakewood Machine and Tool, Ian Sandusky, I'm gonna give you his contact information because they do this for us and they're really good at it. And it's that kind of word of mouth, very organic networking that you may not even be aware you're doing that is probably one of the best ways, in my opinion. The best way to make someone that you don't know think highly of you or think of you when a job comes up is to have someone that they trust tell them that you're good. You can't really force this one, guys. This one is a bit of, you have to build a reputation for being on time, doing good work, being easy to work with. These things will kind of naturally come, but the way you can help encourage it is by going out instead of when you're looking to get something done or you're looking for a new material supplier, or you're looking for a new place to buy end mills, or you're looking to hire somebody, instead of just jumping on Google right away and saying, you know, material suppliers near me in Newmarket, Ontario, or Toronto, Ontario, go out and ask some people you know. Say, hey, do you know what? I'm really looking for a new whatever it is. And I guarantee everybody has people they like to recommend. If you ask me 3 shops right now I could recommend that aren't me, I can tell you at the drop of a dime. So going out and trying to find more organic ways to find, you know, new suppliers or new customers or whatever it may be will help build your network naturally. And that's the first thing you should do, in my opinion. Another great one that's a little more mainstream in terms of, you know, this is more considered a true networking option, are things like trade shows. Guys, if you have never been to trade shows, you are shortchanging yourself. Trade shows are one of the best ways to get out there and meet a lot of people really quickly without any kind of pressure. Everybody knows that they're at a trade show to meet people, to see new things, to, you know, make connections. So going into a place where everybody's kind of already in that zone is pretty helpful. You should always bring a stack of business cards or contact info, or, you know, I wouldn't bring my rate card to a trade show and hand those out, but having a tangible piece of connection that you can hand to people and say, you know, here's having a conversation with them, hey, do you know what, I'd like to talk further about this. Give them a business card and just not walk away rudely, but walk away. You don't need to close every connection right away. And guys, every person you meet is not going to be a good fit for your network. You know, every person you meet at a trade show isn't going to be a sale. Every person you meet at a trade show, or, you know, a social mixer after a trade show, is not going to be a potential good supplier. But going out there and just speaking to people and getting your name out there and, you know, seeing what's out there will help you. The other thing I really like about trade shows is that it's kind of the shotgun approach to building your network if you don't really have a lot of connections. Especially if you're starting a new business and you haven't been around for a long time, you may not have the person to talk to for your area, for your machine. You know, I might not know my Haas rep, or I might not know that there is there's a new sales rep for my tooling. So being able to go to a trade show and talk to the different companies and make those local connections is extremely helpful. The last one we're going to touch on here, guys, is social media. Social media can include Facebook, it can include more professional sources like LinkedIn. I mean, that's kind of the networking social media for business people. It can be things like Instagram, it can be things like Twitter, it can be things like YouTube. And of course, the Practical Machinist Forum. These things are awesome for being able to meet people and get perspectives that are not necessarily local to you. I've made some great connections over the years through social media. I've got work through it. I've ended up meeting some great people in person, you know, developing very good business relationships. But social media, although a lot of people think of it as their predominant space where in today's climate they should be social networking, where they should be networking, is probably one of the most difficult to do it effectively. And the reason for that is this: everyone there is trying to do it. Some people are very clumsy at it, and because of that, everybody has a little bit of a wall up. We all get messages on LinkedIn from people who are just trying to shotgun out and build business for themselves. We all get those people who are messaging us on Instagram or messaging us on Facebook, who are really clearly only trying to talk to us to sell us something or to, you know, be a supplier for us. And that's fine, guys. That's a method of advertising. There's nothing wrong with it. But the kind of issue with it, in my opinion, is that it does put everybody's back up and guard up a little bit. You know, everybody, if you get a message from someone you don't know, your first reaction is going to be, okay, well, this is a cold call, and you kind of have your back up. The best way to utilize social media and this kind of thing, in my opinion, for true networking, is just by going out and being a human on it. When I post on Instagram, I'm not trying to advertise myself. I'm trying to share what's going on in my shop. When I go comment on posts on Instagram, I'm not trying to say, hey, look at me, look at me. I'm commenting on things because I think they're cool, or I'm saying good job, or I'm saying, hey, do you know what? You should take a look at this company because that cutter you're using is good. This one I find is better. The biggest thing with networking, in my opinion, is just being a human. We are there to talk to each other. You're there to have conversations. You're there to share information. You are not a walking billboard. You are not a walking ad campaign. And trying to disconnect yourself from that, where you always have to be pushing and to always be closing, really will help you, because people are going to be a lot more relaxed around you. They're going to remember you as someone who is not just your company name. And then that's going to lead to the true relationships that can bring business into your shop and make your life easier. Okay, guys? In the comments below, I'd like you guys to share some of your top tips for networking, some things that have been successful for you, maybe some things you shouldn't be doing. I mean, I think we all kind of know what a bad attempt at networking looks like, but if you've had bad experiences, maybe you should share those below so we all know kind of what to avoid as well. But I really think you guys should go out there this week and try to make networking a priority, especially because, guys, we've all been locked away for a long time with this whole pandemic thing. So going out and trying to forge some human connections is definitely going to be a positive for your business in the coming year. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, make sure you like and subscribe below if you want to see more videos. You guys have a great day.